Folks, welcome to an all new episode of So Bad It's Good. This is your pal Ryan, and this is your Thursday episode. We are doing a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. Maybe I should just start to call these reenactments. I don't know. We're going to go over that whole damn show. We're going to treat this like Shakespeare. We're going to go line by line. Julieta Carrozza just turned in some beautiful transcription of this episode. So we got to get into it. I mean, we got to talk about the importance of memes. I love that memes is a central character of this season. I think what an important conversation to have. So I'm just so glad we're having it in 2025. I think we are in 2025. How are you? Are you good? Are you hanging in there? We're hanging in there, right? We're hanging in there. We're going to try to laugh today. Also, I was so thrilled that my favorite new character from Beverly Hills, the interior designer Martin, is back to help Erica Jane with possessions. Martin. I love that guy's voice. So I was so excited to have him back. Where I'm disappointed, where's Kathy Hilton? Where's Kathy Hilton? She had such a strong first part of the season. I know she's not a full-time housewife, but I think I need her right now. I need her now more than ever. I need her hooked up to those machines at her house. I need her talking about taking sexy photos with Rick, her husband, at a hotel in Vegas that she keeps in a lockbox at Wells Fargo. I need that right now. Come on. What about me, as Brittany Bateman from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City would tell you? What about me? I need this, damn it. But we had a pretty solid episode that picked right back up where we left off last week at the iconic Viper Room, where Sutton was told by her glam artist, "I can't believe you've not been there yet, Sutton. I know, I go to all the trendy rock and roll spots in Beverly Hills." I say. So that's where we pick up. We'll talk about a couple of other things as we always do. And guys, these are long form podcasts. That's what this has always been. I wish I had that talent to really just kind of, by the way, I could tell you what happened in the episode really quick. That's just not what I like to do. So buckle in, settle in, have a drink, kick the kids out of the car. Unless you're teaching the kids an important lesson about not becoming a podcaster when they're older, then feel free to have them listen as well. But we will talk adult themes. You know, we're talking memes here. So that's an adult theme. We're talking, obviously, about relationships because you have this PK Doute relationship, but you also have the Doute Kyle relationship. And I want to also clarify something. Juliana was emailing me something that I want to clarify in regards to Doute talking about PK kind of being unpredictable and how scary that potentially is for Doute. This is the other thing, what I find interesting about shows like this that have gone on for so long. It's not only the show that we're seeing, but you just automatically start thinking about the show behind the show. Kyle has been there since day one, so she knows everybody. She knows these producers. They're all like family at this point. So there is this interesting conversation to be had of what we're seeing and what is being hid from us, right? Like, oh, is this all right to talk about on camera? I don't want to talk about this. You know I'm this way. You know I try to protect you. So it all of a sudden you kind of realize that we get to see most of their reality, but there is a point where Kyle even is like, you know me. You know I'm a good person. Come on. I brought Kesha to the Viper Room. Come on. So it's interesting to think about because there's all these rules. Like, I want reality shows without rules. Like, I want to see everything, the nuts and bolts. And that's so hard when you are in any kind of working environment. I think people protect each other. That's the nature of the game. We also got to see Erica Jane someplace that I always knew I would end up seeing her at some point, and that's Chuck E. Cheese. I guess the only question I had is what about Dave and Buster's? Wait, is that Chuck E. Cheese? But Chuck E. Cheese, it was great to see Erica. I think she will end up performing there one day. But it was actually a very cute scene. Erica Jane, I never thought I would say having a fantastic season. You almost see. It's just interesting. If you listen to the Salt Lake recaps, I talk about Mary Cosby in the sense of we've gotten another look at Mary Cosby from a different angle, and we've appreciated her more. But also, production has done her a really like a solid favor in not talking about her church, in not talking about her husband slash grandpa. They've done Mary Cosby a favor, and we've been able to appreciate her in a whole different way. And with Erica Jane, if you can remove talking about victims, if you can remove these things, you can almost empathize and start seeing her as an actual person, right? So sometimes I feel like these shows, they'll give you the hot potato. You'll have to suffer through a couple of really brutal seasons from the audience. And then, there's almost like an all clear sign. And you start to go, okay, I can kind of see now you talking about rebuilding. You get past your own anger about a situation and start to actually think about the person. So Erica Jane, she's like a barnacle, man. She has hung in there. And I will continue to say until I'm blue in the face, I don't think I'm blue in the face right now, is that Lisa Rinna, her not being on the show, has helped Erica Jane more than it has hurt her. Like, Rinna not being there has also given us more empathy, because if Rinna was there, I believe Rinna would have just kept needling situations that Erica would have joined in on, and the terrible twosome that I think that they sometimes were, whereas can be entertaining, ceased to be entertaining, for me at least. And so Erica is doing good on her own. She's now a listener. She yeah, Doute, yeah, tell me everything. Like, she's now a better friend to Doute than Kyle is to Doute. Did you ever think that you would see the day? Well, that day has come, folks. That day has come. Okay, so those are some opening statements. I checked in with you guys. The fire here still obviously not contained. We have been really blessed in terms of the Santa Ana wins, in terms of what they said to expect and then what is actually happening. So hopefully that can continue, that we are blessed and lucky these next couple of days with the Santa Ana winds, so we can contain these fires, and then we can get to doing what we do best, and that's finger pointing, and then we're going to get everybody. But until then, we've got to think about the victims. And like I keep saying on these shows, and I know it might sound crazy. No, I don't think this sounds crazy. But if you're out here, if you're not in California right now, it really is horrific, right? So right now, I'm even feeling that because I can't go outside because of this dang nose thing. And, there's only so much we can do now. We just got to get these fires out. And then after that, we're going to need help for a long time. And you got to... I'm almost mentally prepping myself for that. I was doing online therapy. It was safe. It was online. I was seated in this actual chair I'm in now. And we were talking about that because I think there's that thing where most of us, we want to go out there and help. We want to go out there like, how can I physically help? How can I, I've donated to a couple of places, and I was talking on a post yesterday. I would love to find a couple of families in this next year that we can find better ways to help. And there's going to be plenty of time for that if we can just get these damn fires out. And then I just find it, I just would rather argue and make fun of reality stars and pop culture and talk about that than finger pointing at this point, because we have the rest of our lives for that. And listen, if we can get past these fires, nothing else bad in 2025 is going to happen. That's a so bad it's good promise. Nothing else weird is going to happen. There is not TikTok is not going to go away. There's not going to be everything is going to be. That's a so bad it's good promise, you guys. I give you permission to sue me if anything else weird happens in 2025. Ryan, you edit this show. Make sure you cut this part out. Just cut this part completely out. But that's the attitude that I've got to give myself to get through this, and we can all get through this, right? That's what we do. That's what we do. So, but what I can control right now is doing this show, and I'm telling myself this, not you, and trying to be as stupid and silly as possible, and try to disassociate. And we'll get through this. And by the way, sadness tonight, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City finale is tonight. I'm not emotionally prepared for that as well. It's loss after loss. I feel like the government should have stepped. Now, this is where I will finger point with the government. Should have stepped in and made Bravo release more episodes of Salt Lake. I told Gibson on Monday's episode, I said, listen, I would watch them literally walk in and out of doors. Like I'd be like, oh, it's an amazing episode. Like they can do no wrong. Like for me, so if I just watch them enter and exit vehicles, I'd be like, that's great episode, good episode here. Loving this wow, did you see Whitney get out of that vehicle? Great character development. So I am sad to watch that. We've had a lot of good episodes the last, I don't even know what day it is and what year. I know the year, 2025, but we've released a lot lately. We've done Salt Lake, Beverly Hills last week. We had Traders with Bergie. We did a pop culture roundup with Gibson. What am I forgetting? Whoa, Sophie Dossi from America's Got Talent. Now, you guys, I know you might read that title, the listeners, and go, I don't know if I care about anybody on America's Got Talent or a contortionist or aerialist, but I just found her fascinating. Like, what a weird, amazing talent that this girl has. And she's so young and I'm so used to talking to like reality stars, or like I talked to Phaedra Parks this morning, which was really very cool. And I talked to Wells Adams from the Traders yesterday, and that's all like really cool. But you know, you're kind of used to people like that. Like they still have this amazing presence, and you're blown away by that. But then you talk to somebody in a completely different field that you're just like, how do you get to a point where you are finding out that you can put your feet behind your head and then pick up a bow and arrow with your feet, light the arrow on fire, and then get a bullseye on a target? That's superhero behavior, folks. So I loved talking to her. So I really go listen to that episode if you need something to disassociate with, because I found it so interesting. And I love when you guys give me the opportunity to talk to other people that are a little left of center of what we usually do. Yeah, that's it, you guys. Also, I did a couple Patreon Q&As. If you need more content, it's over there. Patreon.com/so bad it's good. If the fires hold, I think we're doing a Patreon live next Thursday. I think that's the date. Maritza made the image and we'll put it up. And that's where we just all talk live together. You can throw up, it's usually a really fun conversation that we get to all have together as a family. Us. Yeah. Okay, I just did a nasal drain on my nose, so we are good there for a couple of hours. So the voice should hold up. We've got the news on in the background, so I think it is safe to do this recap. And listen, since things have been so crazy, I think I need this. I don't know if you guys need this, but would you, if possible, disassociate with me with one of my favorite songs of all time? Obviously, it does not represent the people on this show, but the theme of this show itself is something that always cheers me up. I consider it the best song in the history of songs. Shocking that it didn't win any awards. It's a little song called Raise Your Glass by Dina Deadly from the show Vanderpump Rules. I don't know if you've heard of that. And I said I was not going to play it. I was not going to play it for a while. But I think in difficult times, rules go out the window, and we are going to play this. And I want you to potentially, you're not going to want to do it. You're going to say, this idiot. And I agree with you, but it might make you a little happy, and then you might start tapping your toe, and then eventually the family's going to get in. It's just going to be a gigantic dance party. So you ready to do this with me? Let's just try it out, see if this fits, okay? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, immediately it's good. Oh. Dun, dun, dun. I just want to be like a conga player in the background. Light up the sky, burn it up like a candle. That's not good. Well, okay, back. Here we go. Raise the roof. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Okay, maybe let's not burn anything, actually. Now that I think about it. Boom! Wow, this is the most I've moved my arms in a long time. Wow. Yeah, it feels good to move the body. Here we go. Jazz hands. Ooh, that felt good. Did that not feel good? Wow, this one is for you tonight, today, whenever you're listening to this. Whew, God, you guys, I was dancing in my chair, which is the place to dance, and I'm winded. Really need to get some exercise in 2025. Okay, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode 7. This episode is entitled, What the Chuck? I do not like this title. Sorry to start negative. I don't know. What the Chuck? Okay. This is what the cable company gives us as a description. If we were strolling by going, what's this show? What's it all about? This is what you would read. The fangs are out at the Viper Room, where tensions are high between Kyle and Doute. Bozama navigates the next step in her fertility journey with her man by her side. I got to tell you, the description, when you put fangs, the fangs, I'm in. And then the fangs are out at the Viper Room, I'm doubly in, which is where we pick back up. We do scenes from the season, as we always do, previously on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We have Erica talking to her new decorator, my favorite new character on Beverly Hills, Martin Lawrence Bullard. And she's like, I lost my entire home and I found this little spot. And he's like, we don't have that $1 billion budget, but I'll give you $1 billion style. This place is going to be the craziest fuck pad since Austin Powers shagged everybody. And then we have Bose and her guy. Remember last episode, they had that cutesy date on the beach where they're all like super into each other and it seems like a really positive and healthy relationship, which is like, boo, we don't want that on reality TV. You guys both seem like mature adults that are into each other. Boo! But Bo says, Keely's my man. We've been dating for several months and he is thoughtful and successful. Oh, and he is fine. Then we flash back to the boat trip in Oceanside where Kyle's talking to Garcelle and Kyle's like, PK reaches out to me. And she's like, what? He does? Yeah. And then cut to the Viper Room from last week's episode. And Dorit's like, Kyle, I'm wondering if you're speaking to him through text or telepathy. Are you speaking to him through your mind? And Kyle's like, my friendship with PK is memes and jokes. What a weird fucking thing to say. Like, the immediate thought is that, like, I would love the thought that like it's literally just memes. Like there's no communication. It's just like meme, and no ever like, hi, how are you? And that's why we kind of know that it's bullshit because yes, there are certain text threads where you'll have memes, but you'll have the one person going like, listen, I'm at work. Can you please stop doing this? Like somebody will jump in eventually and say something sort of human. So yeah. And Dorit's like, just the fact that you texted and I don't know if I feel comfortable. And Kyle's like, I am done with this with you. And we met a new character last week, which is Kyle's forehead vein. And I call that character Randy. So we saw Randy pop out on Kyle's forehead. Randy's like, what's going on? Hey. Oh my God, I haven't been to the Viper Room in decades. What the fuck? This is awesome. Oh my God, Dorit's coming at us right now. And Kyle's like, I am done doing this with you. And Dorit's like, as am I. And Kyle very sarcastically is like, okay. You can tell, like, poor Kyle, man. We love her, but she's like, listen, the great thing about reality television is that we are in the driver's seat. We're judge, jury, and executioner. Unfortunately, Kyle is in the wrong. I understand that she is still a good person. It doesn't make her a bad person, but she is in the wrong. And the other thing that is happening, I think that we all kind of can see, is that when you get this defensive, it does not help anything because you know, what you would hope in a situation like that is you're like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. I'm so sorry. We've been friends with you both, me and Mo, even though we're in a weird spot. We've been friends with you guys for years and years. And I would never betray you in that way. And I'm just so sorry that but I'm listening. I understand. and I'm with you. Like that could be it. But we're also on reality television where you have a crew of people going like, fight. If I was at the Viper Room that night, I would have been like, yeah, let's go. Get it, right? But you have all the other ladies surrounding the table just watching this, and it's so funny. I go back and watch this scene because you'll see Garcelle and Sutton, and they're all being very still as Kyle and Doute are very activated with each other. And I think it was so funny to watch Sutton just like kind of with some eye gestures, but that's it, and just letting them go at it. So we pick up right back there at the Viper Room in this showdown. We got Randy, the forehead vein. We got Kyle. We got Doute. And Kyle's like, what do you want from me? And Doute yells, I'm asking you not to speak while your veins are popping out of your forehead. And Randy's like, what the fuck are you? How the fuck? Hey, what about you? What about your nose? You've changed a lot of things over the years. I'm a forehead vein. But, dude, when Doute said that, I was like, dude, this is Doute's season. This is Doute's season. Doute is literally, she's out there smoking cigarettes. She's in that don't give a fuck because her life is insane right now. So she has nothing to lose. And I'm sure Kyle is, you remember like when everybody was like talking about Kyle's hands a couple of seasons ago, and we're all sensitive about how we look, but like to Kyle, that's tough. Like Kyle, that hurts her. Kyle yells, I apologize. And I said to you, I will not talk to him again. What more do you fucking want from me? And Doute's like, Doute even drops the accent. She's like, I want you to stop fucking raising your voice to me. How about that? And Kyle's like, no, listen. And Doute's like, you don't get to speak to me that way. Do you understand, Kyle? The rules are different. You don't get to scream, fuck you, fuck you. And then all of a sudden, Doute pulls out a switchblade. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? No, there's no switchblade. But that's the kind of vibe. It's like Greasers. As you're like, Grease is the word. I was like, they're going to race cars outside on Sunset. Like, we're racing for pinks. Like, it was, Doute wasn't backing down. Doute sees this very clearly, and we've talked about this, when you establish a certain power dynamic in a relationship like Kyle and Doute have, where Doute is just there supporting Kyle, when that is pushed away, it is very upsetting to the other person being Kyle. They don't know how to deal with it, right? So everybody is kind of like just watching this, and Doute is like, there's like lunges involved in a light way, and then Erica, salt of the earth, Erica Jane, the voice of reason. Whoever thought we would say that? It's like, Doute, you have to stop. Come on. And she gets up and stands next to Doute, She's like, come on, just stop. And Doute in a talking head's like, come on, the fact that Kyle's vein is popping out of her forehead. And then they show Kyle with the vein in her forehead popping, going, what more do you fucking want from me? And it's like, it's Randy time, the forehead vein. Doute continues in the talking head. It's telling me that she's guilty. She knows she did something wrong, and now she's just trying to get aggressive and scream so that I will back down and shut the conversation down. Erica Doute is like, stop it, please. Listen to me, Doute. Stop it. Doute in a talking head. That's not happening. Vein or no vein. Doute, trademark this, vein or no vein, that should go on a shirt immediately. Vein or no vein. Oh, print. Kyle's at the table going, I already have told you, I'm not going to text with him. I'm not going to send any fucking memes to him. What more do you want? I'm done. My meme outlet is destroyed. I'll never look at memes again. Kyle in a talking head says, it's making me so angry because we were in a better place. And now she says this tonight just to make me look bad when I know she doesn't even genuinely feel like this. Stop. So Kyle in her head has rationalized it that that Doute knows like the real deal, but she's like kind of just putting this act on and coming for Kyle. So Kyle is not being able to be empathetic or sympathetic toward Doute's actual situation right now at all. Kyle's like, oh, this is all put on for the cameras in a sense. And Kyle, I believe, is thinking about this in the completely wrong way, just completely, right? Also, what happened to Kesha? Did Kesha start seeing them fight and she was like, I ain't here for this. I'm out. Hey, Kesha don't play this. No. I'm Kesha. I gotta go. I'm not here for this. I would think if I was Kesha, I would want to like be there for like a legendary Housewives fight. Kyle at the table's like, I'm not beating a dead horse. I don't like to do that. Who does like to beat horses, Kyle? Yeah, animal abuse is bad. Dourite's like, Kyle, listen to me. I'm not going to. And Garcelle jumps in and goes, well, how did you know she was texting, Dourite? How did you know she was texting PK or they were texting? And Dourite goes, I had no idea. I asked. And Garcelle's like, when you started talking, I thought you were going to share your relationship with PK. And then we got off the rails. Like, how are you doing? So this insane. Hey, bud, how you doing? Hey, friend, how's it going? Hey, look at me. You okay? Like, we've just gone insane. Kyle's forehead veins are popping out, and Garcelle's like, hey, bud, what's up? Do you remember me? Hey, how you doing? You seem a little down, bud. Gonna tell me what's going on. It is a great pivot, but what's even greater is Dourite's reaction. Like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Garcelle, you're asking me this now? And I think Garcelle truly is asking, but it's just the weirdest time to, But I also like that Dourite possibly thought that they were texting. Like at one point, were all four of them in a group text, like Mo, Kyle, Dourite, and PK. Were they all like at one point on a group meme text? And that's why Dourite might have been suspicious. Like, I realized the memes have stopped coming from our 4-person text thread. Is PK still sending you funny memes and GIFs? So Sutton even realizes this is insane for Garcelle. She's like, Sutton gives Kyle this sarcastic look and laughs. And Dourite's like, Garcelle, do you mean that like genuinely? And Sutton's like, oh my goodness, I say. Because it comes off really demeaning, right? So Dourite in a talking head says, really? You see the emotional state that I'm in? Well, I mean, my forehead veins aren't popping out like Kyle, but I'm still very, in an emotional state. And you want to try to connect with me for the first time in 2 years. Garcelle at the table laughs, goes, oh, yes, I just asked you. Of course I want to know. Now, this is where it is tricky because Dourite kind of, yeah, man, every conversation that they've had has been kind of some negative conversation about something where, I mean, I've agreed. Dourite has said some idiotic things, or it's a joke about Dourite being long-winded. So, yeah, coming from Garcelle, Dourite kind of nails it. Like, okay. And Dourite in the talking head says, read the room, Garcelle. Garcelle's like, oh my God, am I next in line? Like thinking Dourite's going to come for her now. Dourite begins to tear up. You know what? Oh. And Bose is like, wait. No, don't. Because she's like standing up to leave. Wait, where are you going? And Sutton and Kyle are exchanging this like kind of like mean girl look. Like, of course, drama queens. And Erica's like, where are you going? And Dourite's like, I can't. I don't have the stomach for it. And Erica's like, no, I got it. Dourite's like nearing tears. And she's like, I'm not on fucking display. I'm not Melissa Gorga. And I too, I don't need to fight her. I don't. So Erica's walking away with her. And they walk outside the Viper room, which the street you're seeing right there is Sunset. And sometimes I know I'm not God's favorite because I feel like if God cared about me, I would have been driving at that exact moment. And well, maybe he was looking out for me because if I saw that, if I saw Erica and Dourite just pop out of the Viper room on Sunset Boulevard, I would have crashed into a pole. Like you would just seen like a shitty Corolla in the background going, Kung! And I would have been like, holy shit, Dourite! Woo! So Dourite's like, Erica, I don't want to fucking walk out on your big night. This is your night. Because remember, Erica had her new song. What was it called? Testicles or Mirror Balls or what? It was a cool song. And Erica was like, yeah, feel it. And she's up on stage. It was cool, right? What was it called? Mirror Ball? Anyways. But Erica's like, it doesn't matter. And Dourite's like, no, I'm sorry, Erica. Oh, you don't have to say it to me. I have no problem drawing the fucking line. Good. So it is, I gotta say, man, it is cool to watch Dourite stand up for herself. It really is refreshing, and it just goes to show you this has been there all along. We've only seen this one side of Dourite. when there's this whole rainbow out there of Doute, the rainbow of Doute, the rainbow of Marlboro unfiltered, right? So inside of the table, Kyle is like going, I lost my shit really bad. Did you meet Randy, my forehead vein? And Bose is like, well, maybe she's just trying to get it all out. And Jennifer Tilly is there. It's like, yeah. And Son's like, well, she's just trying to get all out on people who don't deserve it. I say. So she's standing up for Kyle. And Bose is like, well, but how does she know if Kyle deserved it or not? And Son's like, well, she doesn't deserve it. And Kyle's like, she literally laughed about it for 8 years. That's the thing. You don't know the history. And that's what I've been saying. They don't teach history in the schools. The U.S. education in terms of reality television has just gone down the drains. There is the PK Kyle meme relationship needs to be studied, and we just forget about this history. And Bose is like, well, there's a lot of things that you think are cute and funny, and then something changes and you don't think it's cute anymore, right? Bose, this might be your only season because that made a lot of sense. You don't want to be making sense this quickly on a season. And Sutton rolls her eyes. Sutton rolls her eyes. Oh, another one of these people that makes sense. Oh. And Kyle kind of makes this gross face and nods. Kyle in a talking head says, I can see, of course, how this would look to people who don't understand the friendship, especially the newer people in the group. And she knows that too. That's why she's doing it. But she had to come up with something. Otherwise, she's the asshole. Oh, God. See, Kyle is just completely looking at this the wrong way, completely. Jennifer Tilly is like, do you think she thought PK was texting you things besides memes? And Kyle's like, oh, she knows. I like it. It's like, oh, she knows PK loves memes. She knows her, you know. And I also like, do you think maybe she thinks PK sent his big, his wiener pic? Like, what's going on? Bo says, I would have thought that. I would have definitely thought that. And Sutton's like, well, that's definitely no news. And Bose is like, maybe, maybe. And Sutton is just not, she kind of shakes her head in disagreement. But Bose is right on track. Now, Eric in a talking head goes, Dorita's having a hard time personally, and she's no longer putting up with this shit out of Kyle. But I've never seen Kyle and Dorit like this ever. I've never seen Dorit lunge towards Kyle. I've never seen Kyle's vein pop out of her head. Which, by the way, what about Erica Jane getting together with Randy, the forehead vein in Kyle's head? Like that, the sexual chemistry would be off the charts. She goes, I don't know what the fuck is going on here at the Viper Room, but wow. As she watches Dorit get in her car and leave. Next day, so that's like the end of that Viper Room scene. Whoo! Good stuff, Maynard. I loved that scene. It's so unfortunate because it also makes a lot of sense. When I think I've mentioned this a couple of times now, but I did that Us Weekly Pluto TV party where I worked the red carpet and I got to talk to a bunch of reality people and it was like really cool. And I got to talk to Kyle and I said, Kyle, hey, I do not do a show called So Bad It's Good, nor have I ever made any kind of silly memes about you ever. Which, by the way, if I had seen the season now, I'd be like, hey, what's PK's number? I'd love to send him some memes free of charge. But I said, you had such an intense season last season. Is this season more laid back for you? Do you kind of get to have a more celebratory season for going through what you've gone through last season? And you could just tell the answer was like, no. In fact, did I ever even release that clip? Did I release that clip on here? But I think I did, yeah. And, but you could just tell she was very hesitant about, I think this season progressively, it's already going pretty bad for Kyle, but I think it gets worse. And I think next week's episode is potentially really bad for Kyle. But we'll talk about that later. Okay, so it's the next day. There's a new day. It brings us to Sutton's house where she's in the kitchen with her property manager, Avi. Avi's just always there and just cutting up some slices for some fruit water, some iced tea, primarily lemon slices, all the things that you do in the big business world. And Kyle arrives. So we have a scene with Kyle and Garcelle here where they're going to be taught to play tennis. I mean, they know how to play tennis, but there's like a tennis instructor out there. And they're going to shit talk, which is always a good housewife scene. Kyle pops in, drives into like Sutton's like gated area, and I like that. If you notice really quickly, like she gets out of the car and she has like a little. There's like a little element of surprise, like, oh, the cameras are here. Like, yeah, you know the cameras are here, Kyle. And she comes in. And Kyle's like, "You look so cute, like country clubbing." Because Sutton's in like a skirt, like all white and with a little tennis hat on. She's like, "We're having a country club day." And Kyle's like, I'm so not a country club kind of girl." And Sutton's like, "Oh, I am." And Kyle's like, "I know you are." "Well, do you want to see it? Can we hit balls? We're waiting on Garcelle. I hear you don't like balls, Kyle." I say, Kyle groans, "Okay, let's sit." And then they start talking. She's like, "I still have my panties in such a fucking twist. Sorry about my language." And Son's like, "I don't care. At this country club, you can cuss, you can drink, you can say things like panties. You can do a lot of things at this country club. You want a free base? Let's do it at this country club." Guys, can I tell you something? I've told you this. I don't know what my weird thing is with the word panties. Like, I always hate when people are like, you got to pull your big girl panties on. Well, I'm not saying that people say that to me, but like, I just don't. I mean, they might, but like, I don't know, for some reason that like big girl panties and the word panties in general. Why am I so weird with that word? But like, is that me being sexist? What is that? What is that? Anyways, I don't know. Like the panties, they're like, I don't know, because underwear, that's not a great word either. Undies, that's not a great word. What's my problem? Anyways, Kyle's like, "I have not lost it like that, like I did at the Viper Room in a very, very, very." And Son's like, "Well, I didn't want you to get an aneurysm, to be honest." I was like, when she said about the vein, my Randy vein bulging out of the side of my head, that does happen when I get really upset. You want to know the last time I remember that happening? And Son's like, "Yeah, we're at a country club. You can talk about your forehead veins." And Kyle's like, "When I had a fight with Camille Grammer in New York City." New York City? Get a rope. Flashback to New York City in 2010, that iconic scene in Beverly Hills where Kyle's like, "I would never say that, Camille. Even if I did think it, I would never say that." And Camille's like, "You did say that. Who talks like that? I don't think that. You think that. You're such a fucking liar, Camille." And we see the forehead vein. I've seen the forehead vein a couple of times, not just Camille, but anyways, Kyle in this scene goes, "When I get upset, I black out." And Sutton and our talking heads like, "Well, I think Kyle has a problem when people stand up to her." And also, I love that Sutton says this like, "Well, I've been doing a lot of thinking and a lot of studying. I came up with something that might sound a little crazy, but I think Kyle might have a problem when people stick up to her. I know people are going to run me out of town for saying." No, of course, we all know that. Yes, yes, 100. We've known that since season 1. Yes, a lot of people have that issue as well. Sutton to Kyle in the scene is like, "Well, I don't like veins bulging. I'm not a big vein bulger. I don't like it. It's not what I'm raised from." Sutton continues in the talking head, "Well, and I think for years, Doute has been cowering back, and now all of a sudden, I say, she's standing up against Kyle." Now, Garcelle arrives and walks in like, "Hello, who's ready for tennis? Not me." And this Garcelle, she says she's got a little like arm injury, so she doesn't have to play the tennis. And anyways, Kyle sees Garcelle, and Kyle's like, "You guys are such country girls, country club girls. I'm just going to keep saying it, country club." And Garcelle's like, "Oh my God, my head's still spinning about last night." And Kyle's like, "I just said my panties are still in a twist." And I was like, "No, not that word again." And Garcelle's like, "Well, your panties should be in a twist, Kyle. I mean, literally, you were coming for each other." "I blacked out, Garcelle. I'm not kidding you. When I get upset, I don't remember what I said when I really lost it. When the vein was..." Guys, I'm very aware of the vein. Like, this is how, like, that really, you could tell that stung, that Doute pointed that out. Guys, I'm going to keep saying vein because I'm just going to accept it. I'm going to bathe in it. Yes, forehead vein. I like that she also keeps saying she blacked out like she's the Incredible Hulk. Like, "You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I turn into the Incredible Kyle. Kyle Smash." Garcelle says, "And then Doute got mad at you for that. Right?" And Kyle's like, "Then don't make them come out of my head, bitch. I blame my forehead veins on you, Doute. You and your stupid husband and the memes." Son's like, well, let's go hit some balls. And Vince is super sweet. I was like, who's Vince? Vince is a tennis instructor. What is there something like, and Vince seems like a good looking young dude. I mean, maybe it's just these shows, but like, if you're a tennis instructor, do you have to be like good looking and young? Is that like, are there ugly tennis instructors? Like, guys, I'm sorry. And if you are one, I'm so sorry. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen so many tennis scenes on Housewives, and usually it involves some kind of good looking guy or girl. Are there ugly tennis instructors? We'll talk about it in another episode. But yeah, Garcelle pusses out because she says she hurt her arm, which in a talking head, she's like, well, no, she didn't. She just doesn't want to. She doesn't want to mess up her cute outfit, and she wants to have a cocktail. So it's only Kyle and Sutton hitting balls, volleying back and forth with this Vince. And Sutton's like, oh, she's strong. Oh, and Vince is like, try to control your strength. I don't know my power. I'm so strong. Forehead vein. Incredible Kyle. Garcelle's just taking videos and photos of herself. You guys are doing great. Avi is setting the table for lunch like any big chief of staff. And Son goes, well, I think that's good for the tennis. We're cooked. Let's get lunch. Thank you, Vince. Thank you kindly, Vince. You're always great, patient, and kind. So they sit down, and then Kyle, there's like a big picture of iced tea. And Kyle's like, is it iced tea? Regular? No alcohol? And Son's like, yeah. I do think it is fascinating that Kyle asked, like, there was a chance that it was just a big old tub of like sweet tea with vodka. Like that to me was insane. Like that she even asked, but I guess, I don't know, maybe you'd think that. I would love it if it was just like straight up, like just a big old jug of Grey Goose with just a bunch of Lipton tea bags in there. Kyle goes, well, I don't know if there was iced tea that already has alcohol in it. Anyways, the first call I made this morning was to Mo. And Garcelle's like, what? Yeah. And Garcelle's like, first of all, it's wild that he's the first one you called. I know, yeah. So he told me that PK was having a really hard time last night and that he was really down. And I said, I can't be friends with him. And he was like, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. And I said, well, if it bothers her, I can't. So obviously, she got to have a conversation with Mo that had nothing to do with their relationship. So they were able to, bond about talking shit about Doute. And I love that Mo was like, he was very in a bad place last night. He was asking me to send him a lot of memes, and I really don't know meme culture. And he's like, I need a meme, please. PK, will you send memes, please? I just need funny memes. I keep sending you memes, Mo, but I don't get memes back. Not with Kyle will send a meme back, but I need it from you, Mo. Garcelle said... Please, Mo, please. You're so damn busy with the agency, Mo. I'm your friend. Send me a fucking meme, Mo. Please. Look at me. I'm not well. Please. It doesn't even have to be funny. I just want a meme. Garcelle says, I mean, like I said last night, if it was me, I would be upset. And Son's like, well, I wouldn't like it either. And Garcelle's like, well, I wouldn't like it. And Kyle's like, but with you, Garcelle, it's a very different situation. And Garcelle pauses and she's like, well, yes, but I feel like in a way it's similar to Doute. I mean, not in infidelity, but in being angry with one another. Because, Garcelle had her marriage with Mike Nylon where he cheated on her. She caught him. She did a whole email blast to his entire, contact list. This is way pre Beverly Hills, obviously. And, so she's like, it's not exactly the same, but there is similarities. Sutton to Kyle is like, well, but you also, Sutton's like, well, I won't get this forehead vein kicking. Kyle, but you also had infidelity, may I say. And Kyle just stares at Sutton like, what? Sutton's like, well, let's not forget that part. And Kyle's like, what part? Well, infidelity. Kyle's like, who did? You did. And Kyle pauses. No, I didn't. This almost sounds like it's the beginning of a musical. Like, what part? The infidelity. Who did? You did. No, I didn't. With Mo, there was no infidelity. All there was me going online and finding a young country singer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounded like it was like da-da-da-da-da-da. But Kyle's like, what are you fucking talking about? And Sutton's like, with Mo. Garcelle makes a face at Sutton. When? And Sutton's like, well, you talked about him, huh? And so she's not even talking about Kyle. She's talking about Mo cheating. Flashback to the last reunion in 2023 where Kyle says, in any marriage, there's issues that you have to come up. And then something like I said in my interview about where I did lose my trust with Mo. Garcelle in a talking head says, this is definitely the unspoken thing. No one brings that up. I mean, listen, we've been hearing rumors for years that either Mo has stepped out or he's doing this or he's doing that. Nobody has confirmation, but it's been all over. And Kyle at lunch says, what? Was it Instagram? Flashback to 2023, playing the housewives answering questions during a meal game. Sutton's reading the question, and it says, what is appropriate for husbands when it comes to communicating with other women on the old social media apps? And Kyle's like, well, I've had a fight with Mo over that. I hate that. Which is obviously, Mo was sliding into girls' DMs or girls were sliding into his DMs and he was like, oh, like that kind of thing. But this is what I'm talking also about, like the reality behind the reality is that they've still managed to protect whatever Mo did to a certain extent. Like we can only speculate what Mo did. Like we can only speculate about Kyle's relationship with Morgan Wade. We can only speculate. So you're getting this reality that they want you to see. It's still sort of reality, but the reality behind that is something that we fully don't know. Sutton, in a talking head, the producer asked Sutton, are you talking about Instagram? And Sutton's like, well, no, I always have a problem with things slipping out of my mouth. Okay, Sutton, calm down. Kyle at the lunch says, well, that's different. I think that's different. And Sutton rolls her eyes like, okay, well, okay, I guess. And Kyle's like, it's just the way she went about it. It was so annoying to me because I know that did not bother her before. She literally said 1,000,000 times how, and Garcelle goes, but I think she wants you to take her side. I'm not talking about then, so I'm talking about then. Now I understand that. But is that really all it is? Is it, Kyle, is it just memes? The fact that, Kyle, look at me, Kyle. Is it just memes? Tell me. Is it just funny little silly memes? I must know. You've got to be honest with us. Is it just memes, Kyle? Kyle's like, well, I mean, I've sent text messages like, we're friends. Well, you don't talk about their relationship ever. No, never. He never told me anything. He never told me how she's a horrible bitch. No, nothing like that. He's smarter than that, I don't know this girl. I don't know who Doute is right now. I won't be friends with someone who's going to continue to do that with me. That's for sure. Right now, there's absolutely no incentive for me to try and fix things with her. Who wants to be around that? I kind of want to be around having like somebody sticking up for themselves in their relationship that she's trying to communicate what's actually going on. Yeah, I would sign up for that. Yeah, I would like to. And I like that Kyle's trying to rally the troops, and even the troops are like, is it just memes? What else you got in there? Let's see that old phone, right? But they're saying, no, I don't want to be around it either. No. So they're all agreeing with Kyle because it's hard in person. Kyle wields a power that I don't even think she realizes sometimes she wields, because I don't think Kyle is evil at all. I just think she is thinking about this completely wrong. I think it's just completely off. So that is the end of that scene. And now we are taken over to HD Buttercup Manu Taylor, Furniture Mart, where Erica is arriving. I've passed this place so much over my time in California. I've always seen this. I've never gone in. I didn't even realize it was a Furniture Mart, but it is. And we have my new favorite character. It's a scene with Martin Lawrence Ballard. So Erica is arriving, and Erica's like, "Hello, I'm Erica Jane. I'm here to meet with Martin Lawrence Ballard." And Doute is there. So it's a scene with Doute and Erica. Doute's like, there she is. You look adorable, Doute. How are you? Do you want a glass of champs? Because they have this Veuve Clicquot right there at the hostess or like the front desk. They have this Veuve, like you go to IKEA, they don't have fucking Veuve out. But at this HD Buttercups, which sounds like a movie title that like Timothée Chalamet will eventually star in, they got champs out there. So Dourite's like, honestly, if I'm drinking, I'd rather be drinking with you, Erica Jane. Now Martin enters. Oh, this guy is a force. And his ensemble, you guys, he's got a nice little smart sports coat, but he's wearing it with shorts. And I was like, this man can pull off a sports jacket with shorts, which has always been a dream of mine that I will never be able to do. And Martin's like, hello, ladies. Oh, my God. Hello. Kiss, 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 kiss. All right. And then Erica's like, Martin, this is my friend Doute. I've heard how fabulous you are. Well, thank you. My reputation precedes me. And how wonderful you've been to Erica. Erica in a talking head goes, sorry. Erica in a talking head is like, she's going to teach us something. And by the way, she's correct. I just think it is funny how we pivot or we grow. You can either use either of those words. Erica's like, style is not an unlimited budget. So she tells us style's not an unlimited budget. So she's saying like it doesn't have to be fancy, even though the HD Buttercup is a very fancy place. Martin in the scene goes, well, what do you think about the new her with the old glamour, Doute? And Erica continues in a talking head, style is when you have a budget and you can say, I can take these things here, mix them together and make it fucking fabulous. Which I love, right? I love. I'm not a fashionable person, but I love that. But we also have to say that that was not always Erica's definition of style. Erica's definition of style used to be, I buy a bunch of expensive shit and I just fucking put it all over this Pasadena mansion. Yeah. and then I put the rest of it in on a PJ. None of it fucking makes sense and it looks really fucking tacky. Yeah. So I feel like true style does come on a budget, right? So she is finally learning that. Doute's like, ooh, I like that. And Martin's like, cheers for that. Cheers for the cheers, right? And they begin to look at the store. And Doute's like, what's your view on plants, Martin? Well, I love plants, Doute. You know, they have to be real. Well, they have to be real. And Doute's like, oh, same. A room, Doute, is like a face. If the bone structure ain't good, it doesn't matter how much plastic surgery or makeup you put on it, it's not gonna work. I love this man so much. A room is like a face. I can only imagine Doute thinking about PK's face right now. Erica, the talking head, says, when I moved into the home I live in now, and we flash back to that home in 2021 with Mikey, and Mikey's like, the dream is to make this room of all clothes. Erica continues in a talking head, the last thing I was thinking about was the furniture, to be perfectly honest. In the store, Erica says, I had a lot of furniture, Martin, in my old home that was not comfortable, but it looked good, and it cost a lot of money. In a talking head, Erica says, Tom's second wife, she pulled up a Mayflower 18-wheeler, honey, and unloaded on his ass and left. She didn't even leave him toilet paper. Tom Girardi had a dirty old poop bottom. Yeah. So now they're sitting on the sofa at the place in one of the displays. Looks like a real fancy sofa. And Martin's like, I like this corner. If you need a new man, this is the corner to curl in. You could do 69, what all the kids are doing, where you flip your private parts on the opposite sides, and you do sexy things like, donkey punching and Dirty Sanchez's. You could do this on this corner right here. It's glamorous, it's for all the glamorous positions, Have you, Doute, I know you. You're very worldly. You're a child of the world, Doute. Have you heard of the Kama Sutra? Oh, yes, the Kama Sutra. I've read it in many different translations. Of course, you're full of class. Well, in the Kama Sutra, they're doing crazy things with people's balls and holes and such. And it's just, I think with this couch, you could do all of the Kama Sutra right here, right? Yes. So Erica is agreeing with Martin that it's like a nice corner for men. And she's like, absolutely. And Doute's like, oh, men, Martin, men. It's raining men. Erica sarcastically in a talking head continues, meanwhile, let me take 4 cups and 4 plates and let me do the right thing. That bitch said, fuck you, and took all of Tom's shit. I should have done that too, but it wouldn't have been a big deal. Okay. I get what she's saying, but I will say, just having watched the show back then, is remember the story for that was always so wonky because she said she drove Tom to work that day and then she came back and like immediately started loading up like a U-Haul with like Mikey and her assistant as much as they could. Like, so I always was like Pasadena to where Tom was in like central LA. I just first off didn't see Erica Jane driving Tom to work, but also that nobody like tipped Tom off. Like it was all weird to me, but she's basically saying I just took enough for me, just for instead of unloading him completely, that would have been a big thing. And I don't know if she meant would have been a big thing in terms of publicity or be a big thing to Tom. But I just thought it just made me think back to her describing that initial move out, which was like, was a very surprise to Tom. So Martin tells the store clerk, he's like, Farrah, can I take you and show you the things that we're going to get delivered so Doute and Erica can have a private scene, even though I'm the real star of Beverly Hills now? So he leaves, unfortunately, and Erica's like, have a scene on my new couch. Redecorating. I feel like it's rebirth. It really is. Redesigning the home that I'm currently living in with Martin's help means a lot because it's taken a while to get the want to even try because it was so much about survival and now I want to thrive instead of simply gasping for air. God, don't I understand? By the way, I totally do get this, right? She's been living this, even if I disagree with how she's handled it, obviously, it has been fight or flight for all of these years. And even like, okay, so just take this fire this week, right? We had to evacuate last week because of that Runyon Canyon thing. Thank God, we're not in Eaton or Palisades, but we still have our luggage packed. We still have not unpacked the luggage, and it's been a week since last Wednesday because you just don't know. So you're in this kind of fight or flight, like, are we going to have to go? Are we going to have to go? Are the wind's going to pick up? Imagine going over that for years and years, and this is her saying she can now kind of breathe. Whether we agree or disagree with that, whether the victims have been made whole again, and, that Tom is going to be sentenced, we don't know. But it is something that I imagine you can see that she is so much more relaxed this season. Erica says, so what's going on with you? Tell me. Well, I love talking to you. You and Bose really are the two people that I've been confiding in most. And then to hear that there are people in the group that actually have an issue with our friendship. Yeah, what is that about? We flash back to one day earlier while on a hike with Bose, Erica, and Doute. Bose says, Sutton has said, remember when I was telling you she was like, you and Doute are like off together and talking. And Erica's like, so, and Bose is like, well, and I was like, yeah, I'm getting to know her. And Erica's like, what's wrong with that? Doute in the store says, honestly, I have no idea. I can't make sense of it, Erica, because I would have had an issue like that in elementary school. But the housewives, aren't the housewives just a more glamorous version of elementary school at the end of the day? Isn't our life, we never go too much farther than high school in our lives. Doute in a talking head says, it really is. It's like, come on my side. No, you need to be on our side. Fucking grow up. I know we don't want to ever glamorize smoking, but my God, Alex Baskin, if you're listening, please let her smoke during the talking heads. Could you imagine her like fucking putting out a cigarette? Like, no, fucking grow up, and just like putting out a cigarette butt. Erica in the scene goes, what do you need from Kyle in order to move forward? Because for a second, you two look like, okay, you are moving forward. Now the Viper Room, post-Viper Room, what do you need? What hurts, Erica? She doesn't say I texted this to PK. It feels like it's secretive. Secretive memes. And then her reaction made me feel like, whoa, even if he's reaching out to you, even if you want to maintain a friendship, which is okay, it's fine. It's just right now, it's not clean. Why not share it with me? Why not give me the memes? And Erica's saying, I can see that you feel that way. And Doute's like, do you know what I mean? It made me feel like I can't trust you. Doute speaking very clearly. And Erica goes, well, do you need to see the phone? Do you need to see Kyle's phone? Well, I think I need to understand why she flipped out so much. Do you think if the table was turned and Kyle asked me the question I asked Kyle and I reacted, Kyle would be okay with that? And Erica's like, no, I don't think so. Both of you are in a very unique situation. And since you're both separated at the same time, tensions are very raw. You're emotionally raw. Oh, did anybody say raw? It's me, Martin, back. I heard emotionally raw. And that's my safe word. Here I am. No, he's not there, unfortunately. But Erica says, I do agree with you, Doute. Had the tables been turned, she wouldn't have been happy. She wouldn't be happy with any of it. Not the texting, not the sharing, not the Dropboxing, not the any of it, and definitely not the reaction. Oh, you guys. So we've set ourselves up for quite another showdown. Another showdown with Doute and Kyle. Okay, we now move on to a scene with Bose, which is actually, a really semi-serious scene where she talks about having to go in for a surgery for her fibroids, and like that one was as big as a grapefruit, one of them. Oh my God. Which, by the way, so in this scene, Bose is talking to her cousin Tina, and Tina, is her last name Tina Ansah? I don't know why I'm asking you guys like you would know, but can somebody, I need to look this up because it looks exactly like Tina Ansah. And if it is Tina, I used to work with Tina at Burke Williams like 15, 16 or 7. I mean, like a long ass time ago. I used to work at Burke Williams on Sunset. It's no longer there, but it looks exactly like Tina. And then I saw the name is Tina, and I'm like, is that fucking Tina? And I'm like, should I reach out to Tina? And I mean, Tina was, if this is Tina, Tina is awesome. She was the funniest mother flipping person that I worked with at Burke Williams. And I was, I don't know. Anyways, I man, if that's Tina, I'm going to flip the F out. It has been so long. I mean, anyways. She just says that one of the fibroids is as big as a grapefruit, right? Like insane. So she's getting this surgery for her general health. Plus she says, not aesthetically pleasing. You don't want to have a bump. She wants abs. I've given up on abs. I actually never had the desire to have abs. I would just like a stomach that didn't have rolls. Keely, her boyfriend, is there to pick her up so early in the morning. This guy is great. And she lets us know she's 47 years old. She still wants a chance to carry a child. And her and Keely have had conversations about this. And we flash back to the beach talking about genetics and having kids and like kind of this thing. And he's 48 years old. He's never had any kids, never been married. And she's like, I have my one, but I want to start a family with him. So this is, once again, this Bose makes sense, has real life issues, successful. Is she only going to last one season? She's like on the money. Anyways, he takes her to the surgery. And, if there's a chance that if the surgery doesn't go well, she might not be able to carry kids. And she's scared of a hard conversation that she'll have with Keely. And she says, I can't have his baby. I don't know if things will change. Like, that's got to be really frightening, right? They go in for the appointment, and then he is taking her home, and it says 4 hours later. So he takes her there, 4 hours for the surgery. They come back, and he's like, home sweet home, babe. Let's get you upstairs in bed. Let me know if you need anything. And she's like, oh, I'm good. Well, maybe some cranberry juice, right? And then all of a sudden on the screen, it says 5 hours later, and Kyle pops up. Like if you had, so I went through that sinus surgery 2 weeks ago. I was out for a long time. I got back. There was no flipping way that I would like Kyle Richards all of a sudden pops in for filming. Like that just seems like really intense. And I don't know why production even let this happen. It just seems like not the time to do that if you just went through removing a grapefruit-sized fibroid. Am I misreading something? But it was weird. Anyways, Nico, Bose's assistant, lets Kyle in and makes Kyle take off her shoes. And you can just tell Kyle's like, this is not a rule for short people. And by the way, Garcelle has a problem with it later. What if that's like comes up at the reunion is like, you've got to let people wear fucking shoes in your house. It's just unusual and cruel. In a talking head, Kyle says, I really think Bo's is fitting in well with the entire group. She seems to be very open-minded, even though she's opinionated. However, I was hurt by her comments the other night at the Viper Room when she stood up for the truth more than the false reality that I have in my head. And I think her idea of who I am is maybe tainted, so I've decided to come bother her after surgery on the same day. We flash back to Kathy's dinner in Oceanside where Doute is talking to Kyle and going, you do not get to pick and choose when it's okay, when you want to be friends, when it's convenient, and when I put one step wrong, you decide I'm going to freeze Doute out and I'm going to punish her. And Sutton's like, well, I too have experienced the punishment where Kyle has not spoken to me for months at a time. Kyle's the punisher. Now back in this scene, Kyle, sees Bose like laid up in bed. You look gorgeous, blah, blah, blah. I got you flowers. I got your flowers, Bose says. Kyle in a talking head says, I really want to make more of an effort to get to know her better and get her to know me better as well and to turn her against Doute. She doesn't say the last part, but that, we can read into it. And Bose says, I do find it interesting, though, that your flowers are next to Doute's, Kyle. And Kyle looks over to check out, like, well, really? And Kyle's like, wait, so this is me and this is Doute? And Bose is like, yeah, I don't even know how that happened. And Kyle's like, mine are prettier. Ha. Mine send funnier memes. My flowers do. Yeah, mine do. Bose in a talking head says, there are multiple reasons why Kyle could be here visiting me. One is that I've been spending a lot of time with Doute, so maybe Kyle wants to give me her perspective so I can have a more balanced opinion, or maybe so she can win me over onto her side. Bose tells Kyle, I'm getting to know both of you, right? It's like, ooh, shit, she's really mad, and she's really mad. I lost it. Did I tell you about my forehead vein? And we flash back to that, scene in the Viper room. Bo says, I was sitting there. This girl's on fire, and not like Alicia Keys, baby, but legitimately on fire. I lost it because I was thinking to myself, you start making it seem like something inappropriate. I am not that person. Do not try to make me out to be somebody I am not. We all know I am not that girl. And Bo's is like, huh. Listen, if it did ever bother her, I, of course, would not speak to PK. I wouldn't want anyone to talk to my husband. And Bose is like, I think one of the challenges that you two are having is that you don't see each other in the same way, the same friendship. You know what I mean? I have like 174 besties, okay? Uh-oh, we got a Ramona singer in training? Nah, Bose makes way too much sense. I'm one of those people. And I have one bestie who thinks she's my only one. And she sends me nasty notes when she sees me at dinner with somebody else. And Kyle's like, haha, yeah, I have a lot of those close friends too. And Bo says, you know what I mean? And so I kind of think that Doute may believe that you might be that. You're probably right. And I think that what I think is close is different to what she thinks is close, because if I'm close to somebody, I share everything. And she's not that person. She has no idea about... I've not told her anything about Morgan. No, I'm sorry. That's rude. That's heartbreaking, right? And I'm sure... like, we've all had that, right? Like that friend that you want to be besties with at some point, and you realize that you don't mean nearly as much to them. That happens so often. And I can see that. Doute, I don't know who's Doute's circle. I see Kyle in like paparazzi photos with so many different girls. And remember, she's from Beverly Hills. She grew up in this town. She has so many close friends, right? But I thought this was a very astute point from Bose. But anyways, Kyle's like, she didn't share anything. It's like she's putting the blame on Doute again. We flash back to Doute sharing a lot to Kyle in 2023, though. Editor troll. My husband, the one that you depend on the most, was spending a lot of time in London. For the first time ever, I thought, is it possible that I PK and I would not make it? And Kyle's like, I've had those thoughts. I think that's normal to have those thoughts. Kyle to Bose, and this scene goes, nothing. Bose in a talking head says, how? She told me the first moment we met. And we flash back to Sutton's surrealism party where Bose is like, hey, Doute, how you doing? Well, my big, fat, bloated alcoholic husband, PK, and I just decided to separate, take some time apart. And Bose is like, oh, I'm sorry. I know. Did I mention he's an alcoholic? Bose continues in a talking head. So she hasn't told Kyle, her close friend, about what's happening in her marriage? I don't think so. Dun 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 dun, Inspector Bose. Dun 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 dun. Woo woo. Bose says to Kyle, she stopped over to see me after the surgery, and you not showing her the text was really bothering her. And she was like, well, wouldn't you think that it was weird if she was sending texts and she didn't show me what the text was? And I was like, only if you think there was something in the text. And Kyle makes a Zoiks face, like, oh, come on. I mean, if you're maybe a manipulative person, then you would think somebody is being manipulative. Kyle's big hang-up seems to be that this threat, this says something about her moralistically and her integrity. Like, that's what she literally thinks she's fighting for. Of like, everybody knows I'm not a manipulator. Everybody knows. So how could this ever be a possibility of a discussion? Like, she's so on top of it that she can't see the forest through the trees, right? And Kyle's like, you want to know something funny? I'm going to show you something funny. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. PK memes. Do you know that okay, there was a whole rumor. I'll show you. It was a stupid rumor, but I'm just going to show you. And Bose is like, oh, Lord, I feel like this is just going to get worse. There is a whole rumor started because, like, Doute is way too touchy-feely with Mo. And Kyle shows Bose the photo everyone made too much about when Mauricio hugged PK on his return from London after the break-in in their home, and Doute group hugged them with her hand touching Mauricio's middle back. I did not think shit about this photo. In fact, I've always gone on there's no fucking way. Just like also there's no fucking way PK and Kyle are doing the hippity dippity. There's just no way. And by the way, I said if there was a way about Mo and Doute, like, holy shit, Sandoval, step aside, Sandoval, hold my beer. We got a new belle of the ball, because that would blow but there's just no fucking way. And you know it because Doute is this intense right now. If she feels it, there's no fucking way. No fucking way. Now, I will say, I think I said this on the Patreon this week during a Q&A, was that online, like, I can talk to you guys here and be silly and disassociate, and it really gets my mind off things, and that's good. I posted a lot of stupid memes over the years. Thank you. Thank you very much. I will please sit down, hold your applause. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I've helped the world. A lot of stupid memes. I have not had the bandwidth. My mind has not been able to work like that this week. Like, every time I watch one of these shows, I just like, oh, save it for the pod. But I can't do that. Like, it just feels weird because my mind can't think of the stupid joke. But then also I'm like, it's just, I don't want to post that when, like, all this shit is happening. And that's not to say that everybody else shouldn't be posting whatever. Like, oh my God, like, I've laughed a couple times about what people are posting. Like, the world goes on, obviously, right? But I will say, and maybe this is a good sign for my depravity, was when I saw this episode, and I'm going to post this, I think, tonight. It'll be maybe up if I do it. It's not that great, but at least it kind of made me chuckle. And Maritza, I said, Maritza, can you take this photo and can you take Doute's hand and put it on Mo's ass? So the photo is not middle back anymore, but on the ass. And Madix is such a genius where he was wearing the dark pants and she switched it to denim so you can see it even clear. Like, and she put, it looks a little wonky, but to me, that's so funny. Like, what Doute sees is just a normal photo, but what Kyle sees is middle back is his ass, if that makes sense. I don't know. It just, it made me laugh. Who knows if, it was encouraging for me to think of something stupid like that. Anyways, Kyle's very indignant. She's like, and there was a whole rumor about how Doute has a thing for Mo, and it was all over the internet. She had to go and defend it, this and that. So don't even get me freaking started about sending stupid memes. First off, how the fuck does this have any like, wait, what? I'm so confused. Just because the internet made a rumor up about Doute and Mo, PK and you should be able to send silly memes back and forth. Like, you're almost arguing it so much where it is starting to become suspect. It's becoming suspicious now. Like, I'm like, wait a sec. Are you guys knocking boots? Are you guys doing the hippity dippity? Are you getting freaky with it? Are you what? Like, hey, Kyle, it's me, PK, your international lover. I send memes, but in a sexy, flirty way. It's so weird. Also, Bose just went through surgery, right? And Juliana pointed out that picture with Mo and Doute and the middle arm hug, that was after the break-in at gunpoint where Doute got the putsta, the PTSD, and PK rushed back from London. So it wasn't a time where Doute was trying to get like handsy. It was like an emotional, insane time. So Bose is like, geez, yikes. Okay. Like, Kyle thinks she really made a point. And Bose is like, tit for tat, tit for tat. Out of principle, I'm not going to pull out my phone and say, oh, here. And Bose is like, well, that's what she wants you to do, she thinks. She can fuck right up. That isn't happening. We got to get that phone now. It's exactly like Salt Lake City when Whitney grabbed Meredith's phone. Like, didn't grab, but just like held onto Meredith's phone. And Meredith was like, give me back my fucking phone, Whitney. when he's like, I didn't do anything at all. Please stop, Meredith. Garrett! I was like, we got it. What's on that phone? Like, I got so suspicious all of a sudden. Anyways, Bose in a talking head says, they say a hit dog is going to holler. Kyle is hollering. Kyle, even though she has 14 seasons on this show, she still gets flustered like she's a newbie sometimes. And it's that thing of like leaning into your power. And it's one of, like we're always the same people. We always struggle with the same issues our whole lives, And Kyle's had this outside transformation of health and body, but sometimes you still just fall into the same traps emotionally because you want people to see that you're growing, but sometimes we're relegated to who we were and the same worries and the same bullshit, right? We never get away from it. Oh my God, you guys, life is truly lifing. I was recording and then all of a sudden I looked down at my phone and I got an alert from Wells Fargo that there was like a $96 charge from Uber. And I was like, zoinks, what? I was like, is this a silly meme that PK is sending me? And no, it turns out they're fraud. Somebody is using my debit card and I've been on the phone with Wells Fargo. And what a time to have to cancel your debit card. Holy moly. I was like, I haven't taken any Ubers. So anyways, wild stuff, folks. We'll do a whole hour on my, somebody stealing my identity now. If this is you, Lisa Rinna, or if this is you, Kyle, because I say that I really understand where Doute's coming from, I apologize, but there's no excuse to take my debit card and charge a $96 Uber ride. There's no excuse. Anyways, back to this, Bose. And also, so Kyle argues this point with Bose. Bose is laid up in bed from this fibroid thing. Kyle, wouldn't you think maybe let's put Bose on the funny meme text thread? She needs some funny memes as she's healing. We should all be on this funny meme thread. I just love if PK and Doute, if PK's out at the bars, the way he flirts with I have your number. I'd like to send you memes. I'm kind of a guy that likes funny memes. I want to see Boy George's phone now. His phone's got to be littered with memes from PK. No, we'll get into that in a second. So we go to the next scene, and we have Garcelle arriving over. We're back over at Sutton's house, and we see Sutton's doggy. Her French bulldog is named June Carter Cash, which is just... I think that truly is an amazing name for your dog. I think that's, hell yeah, June Carter. That makes me, anyways, they do the whole, you look cute. And then Kyle is dropped off next and she goes inside and Garcelle's like, this is going to be fun. And Kyle's like, okay, so I called Erica and Sutton's like, yeah, so what's our little plan here? And Kyle's like, I told her we're just going to go out to dinner. I'm not sure I was specific. Now I was like, what is happening? What are we doing? And Sutton in their talking head says, well, I want to do this party for Erica because she did seem rather hurt. I say that no one acknowledged her in a caring way after what she was going through with Girardi. I like it's not even Tom, with Girardi. We flash back to Erica talking to her therapist. Sutton threw a pajama party, pizza party for Kyle, but I was not given a pizza party. I was actually met with a lot of judgment. And then at Kyle's surprise pizza party a month earlier, Erica's like, nobody made a pizza dinner when this happened to me. And then at Kyle's Denim and Diamonds party, we have Erica going, I did not get a pizza party. Well, we haven't thrown a pizza party for Doute either, Erica. Give it time. Your pizza party will come, and that day is today. I think that is, funny, but also the pizza party thing, Erica's situation is much, much different, but that's totally, anyways. So the pizza party is finally here. We're going to surprise Erica with a pizza party. They all climb in the car. They get driven over to Erica's shithole place that... It's me, Martin. It's not going to be a shithole place when I'm done with it. Oh, my God. It's going to be amazing. I'm telling you. So they knock on the door and, Garcelle's like, so are we going to knock on the door? And Sutton's like, listen, Lindas. Sutton. Sutton calling him, listen up, you Lindas. And Kyle's like, what does Lindas mean? It's plural because y'all are being Lindas right now. Is Linda the new Karen? You're being a real Linda. You don't want to be a Linda. No, you're being Lindas. Lindas. Sutton in a talking head says, I have a very select guest list for tonight. Doute is not invited for obvious reasons. She wants to go at Kyle's. She's not invited for obvious reasons. I'd be disgusted because Kyle's forehead vein would be popping out again, and I can't do that. I already have an esophagus issue. And if I'm going to have hot steaming Chuck E. Cheese pizza and I see Kyle's forehead, those two things do not mix. So Doute is out. Doute's out. So she goes, she wants to go at Kyle's throat. And 2, she hates me. The other reason she's not invited to the pizza party, she hates me. And poor Bose, she's got those fibroids. She's recovering from surgery. So we're going to leave her out tonight. Maybe we're going to send her some pizza. They arrive at Erica's. And Sutton's like, well, we're not surprising her. We're all going out to dinner, so play it cool. Just play it cool. Going to dinner. And Garcella's like, I couldn't play it any cooler. They enter Erica's courtyard, see her lemon tree. Like, by the way, this isn't a shit. Like, this is a nice house. It's got fucking lemon trees. And big lemons. They say these are lemons on steroids. And they walk in Erica's house, and Erica's like, you bitches, you surprised me. What are you doing in my home? Eric in a talking head says, something is very strange here. First of all, I thought I was just meeting up with Kyle. And here comes Garcelle and Sutton. I don't know if they're taking me, like kidnapping me, or is this an execution? It would be wild if it was an execution. I don't think anybody would expect that. Like, it would be really, get in the fucking van. So get in the fucking van, Lindas. You're going away. Anyways, they say, we're going to go have a good time. And Eric in a talking head's like, Vegas, Vegas, Vegas. So she thinks they're going to get on a plane and go somewhere fancy. And Eric is like, I feel like this is a setup. And Kyle's like, are you wondering where we're going? And she's like, I feel like I'm being abducted, going to the Middle Valley. And this is not where I thought my life would end. I feel like I'm Jax Taylor right now. I'm Erica Jane. So she's blindfolded with this fancy blindfold. They're almost there. They arrive. They get Erica out of the car, and they walk her a little ways up to the surprise. And Erica's still blindfolded. She's like, what is this? The valley smells like shit. What is this? And Garcelle's getting her video camera ready, her phone, like, you know. Kyle's like, well, you said no one threw you a pizza party, so we felt bad. And Erica's like, oh, God. And Kyle's like, so we thought of the biggest pizza party you could think of. Okay. And Garcelle's like, take off your blindfold. Erica removes it and laughs like, that hurts my nose when I do that. But it's not like a truly happy laugh. It's just an Erica laugh. And they're standing in front of Chuck E. Cheese. And it's very triggering for Erica because Erica, in the early aughts, used to fuck Chuck E. Cheese. They had a little bit of a thing. It was before the Tom Girardi relationship, so she was immediately just obviously like, how could you do this to me? How can you do this to me, Kyle? You know what me and Chuck went through. Come on. Can I admit something to you guys and not have you completely make fun of me? Listen, it's been a tough couple of weeks. The episode title is called What the Chuck? Yeah, I just have now put it together that meant Chuck E. Cheese. This whole time, I've just been like, what a stupid meaningless time. I literally thought they were like, they're talking about Upchuck, and I was confusing it with Meredith Marks, who was like, Brittany said I threw up in the bathroom. Like, I got so confused about the name, and now I realize it's for Chuck E. Cheese. I am such truly an idiot. Holy moly, I'm dumb. Anyways, I still don't like that title. So they're standing in front of the Chuck E. Cheese, and Erica's like, are you kidding with Chuck E. Cheese? This is actually really cute. Thank you. In a talking head, she says, I just knew that my friends, my fancy friends, were going to take me on a private plane somewhere, and we were going to get away. But instead, they took me to eat at Chuck E. Cheese. I do like Chuck E. Cheese, though. So they're there, they order pizza and get Chuck E. Cheese is awesome, by the way. Sutton like sees the games, you know, it's like, I'm not doing the trampoline. I'll TT in my pants. pants. My pelvic floor is loose. I forgot my hand sanitizer. I can't do no trampoline. Avi ain't here to help me. And they play video games and basketball, skee ball. Kyle climbs on the skee ball machine and cheats. Not unlike Mauricio at various points in their relationship, allegedly. They put on the Chuck E. Cheese paper rat hats and sit at their table. And Sutton's like, I love when rich people cosplay as middle-class people. Like, I love when they act like us, you know? Sutton's like, well, in all seriousness, what you have done to pull yourself up, Erica, is remarkable, and I'm proud of you. Thank you. Actually, Erica seems to be the most on track right now. Well, I was the most off. Well, I don't know. I think things are just calmer. I do still have a long road to go, but others have done it. You can do it too, which is why I can do things like redecorate. No, I can't get a new home, but I can redecorate the one I'm in, and I'm grateful to be in the one I'm in. Is it my forever home? No. Is it grateful right now? Well, while we pull ourselves back together, it sure is. Oh my God, I'm just so grateful she didn't say, well, while we pull our big girl panties on, it sure is. So I was like thrilled. Eric in a talking head says, Tom is ready to go to trial. And we see a headline from Reality Blurb. Prosecutors say Tom Girardi spent $25 million of clients' money on Erica Jane's entertainment career as Tom's criminal trial date is revealed. So while I'm excited about all my great new interiors and moving forward with life, there's Tom waiting to go to trial, and that, look, no matter what you want to say, it just sucks. It does suck, dude. This dude, whether you think it's a big act or not, the dude is failing. He also is a criminal. So it's going to be interesting to see what the sentence that is handed down, which I think should be soon, right? Erica says, I don't think I'll ever be married again. I don't want a legal contract with someone like that again. I would love to have someone in my life. And Son's like, well, never say never. I don't know. It's not what's bringing me joy right now. My business and doing that really is what bringing me happiness. And Garcelle's like, it's like having your children see that too. And Garcelle to Kyle says, also to you teaching your girls that they need to protect themselves, Kyle. Well, they have said to me that they would be devastated if they saw me laying in bed, crumbling instead of I love that they're like, they would be crumbling if they were like Ryan Bailey, just laying in bed. So I got to get myself up. And Garcelle goes, he calls you a lot. He FaceTimes you a lot. So they're talking about Mo. We flash back to right before Kyle's Denim and Diamonds party, her FaceTiming Mo, and we see that. And Garcelle goes, you don't have boundaries with that yet. It doesn't seem like you have boundaries. Well, I mean, we really move slow with this whole thing, that's for sure. Garcelle in a talking head says, I know when you're going through a separation, you can go your separate ways. Do your own thing and see maybe if you want to come back together or not. I think these two don't know what they want, or at least Kyle seems like she's not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think he likes the condo life. You bet your sweet bippy he does. Are you kidding me? Garcelle goes, yeah, I like condo life too. I'm going to be 100% blunt. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Be whoever you want to be, Kyle. And Kyle's like, yep. If you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. Let's all do it together, folks. Zoinks! What? Everybody at Chuck E. Cheese's freezes. Zoink! Ow, Garcelle. Kyle, if you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. The fact that was said, first off, chef's kiss, the fact that was said at a Chuck E. Cheese, that's the stuff that miracles are made out of, folks. Like, holy shit. Kyle in a talking head stutters and says nothing. Sutton in a talking head goes, oh, Garcelle. Garcelle, wah. Eric in a talking head says, Garcelle asked the question that sometimes I secretly want to ask, but I ain't doing it. Garcelle in a talking head says, we are women of a certain age. We are people's mothers. We are bosses. We're businesswomen. Be whoever you want to be. God, it would have paid anything to have a Morgan Wade talking head. I told you, Kyle, be who you want to be. Oh my God, imagine if Doute was there. Yes, Kyle, be a lesbian, but tell me first. Oh my God, do you think PK sends funny lesbian memes to... Hey, I saw this about Thelma and Louise. It's a funny meme about female friendships that sometimes gets too close, and it's a scissoring meme. For you, Kyle. Hey, this is a meme about fried green tomatoes, about a very lovely female friendship that blossoms potentially into love. And it's very interesting. Funny meme about that, Kyle. Here's a meme about a league of their own and the weird relationship that Madonna formed with Rosie O'Donnell at a... Sorry. Anyways, there is a Beverly Hills after show on Peacock where Kyle says that she was pissed that Garcelle said that and she just did it to have a moment. Yeah, man, that's what this show is. It's about having those moments. Yes. Thank you. Like, listen, Garcelle, I was a little tepid on you last week. I started to worry about your place on the show. Listen, it is hard to have this. You know, you can't always be this person that just calls people out because you have to get the hot potato at some point. So Garcelle's eventually going to have some sort of life event. And by the way, if she doesn't, that's a big compliment to Garcelle, just saying that she is very well put together. But man, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at somebody saying, if you want to be a lesbian, right? So they get off of that topic real quick. They don't even say anything else about it. Erica's like, so Dorit met me at Cocoa Republic and we spoke. Sutton's like, and it silenced Chuck E. Cheese. Erica's like, but we spoke about when you two got heated. We talked about the text messaging of it all. And she said she would like, because things have changed and he's unpredictable, and that she would like to know, in fact, if he texts or you guys text. So Kyle is like, why is she trying to make it seem like it's anything inappropriate and gross? And I'm not going to get to a point in my life to where I'm, having to pull out my phone and shit because I'm an adult and that's a fucking joke. Acting like a child, throwing a tantrum. She pulls out her phone. I'm going to do this today because I will show you guys, but I'm not going to do this again. Not for her or anybody, but I'm going to tell you right here. When they made the announcement, and Kyle reads from her PK messages what she wrote to him. This is when they made the announcement. Also, it would be great if Kyle picked up her phone and because this is a screenshot, by the way, because you can see the other photos at the bottom of the screen, but it would be great if they were all like Morgan, just all that. But so this is what the message to PK reads. I know you have a lot of friends, but I am also one. And here if you need me. I've never repeated anything you've shared with me and never would. So these are the type of funny memes and messages that they like to send back and forth. Now, as a meme maker myself, I don't think that is a strong meme. I don't think there's a joke in there, nor is there any sort of picture or, like a little Kermit the Frog. There's nothing. That's not a great meme. And I'm not, I'm not the best at memes, but I know my way around a little bit. And just for you folks at home, let me go to the free encyclopedia, Wikipedia. The meme, this is the definition. It's an idea, behavior, or style that spreads by means of imitation from person to person within a culture and often carries symbolic meaning representing a particular phenomenon or theme. A meme acts as a unit for carrying cultural ideas, symbols, or practices that can be transmitted from one mind to another through writing, speech, gestures, rituals, or other imitable phenomena with a mimicked theme. Supporters of the concept regard memes as cultural analog to genes in that they self-replicate, mutate, and respond to selective pressures. In popular language, a meme may refer to an internet meme, typically an image that is remixed, copied, and circulated in a shared cultural experience online. It also might be in the form of a text message that you send in support after a relationship goes south. No, that part's not there, but that's what I still want to see I want to see the fucking memes. Show me I want to see how good PK is, because I just want to, come on. It's a meme of you and Morgan Wade as Wayne and Garth from my friend Ryan Bailey. I hope this makes you chuckle, Kyle. Come on, let's see the memes. Anyways, that's the definition of a meme. Also, I love that even Wikipedia is all hoity-toity about memes. It's just stuff to make you laugh. Sutton in the Talking Heads makes very confused faces. She's like, wait a minute. This is not just about some memes and jokes. That's serious talk. Garcelle in a Talking Head. So they have shared things? about Doute, her relationship or whatever that no one else knows about? All this time, Kyle is just defending that it's just memes, so it's not all true. Because that message is like, obviously they've shared some sort of, like that could be about his, he's a bloated alcoholic. He's a chubby alcoholic. It could be about that. Like, who knows? But like, why would Kyle choose that as the message to show them that all is good? See, nothing to worry about. Like, show them a fucking meme. Like, why would you show the message that like looks like you have kept secrets from Doute, or that you can tell me things that I won't pass around? It boggles the mind. Kyle continues what she wrote to PK. We'll keep sending memes and won't forget laughing emojis. Okay, so maybe that's where she thought, see, it says memes right here. Kyle goes, that is what I wrote to him. I'm not going to have her be a bitch to me and try to paint me as someone that I'm not continuously, and the fact that she would actually make me not ever want to repair anything with her. What? Like, I'm getting, like, wait, you don't have to go this hard. Like, memes aren't meant to break people apart like this. But like, now I'm just like, why, what else is going on, right? God, that vein is just ready to bounce again. You're so vain, I bet you're on Kyle's forehead when she talks about to read. You're so vain. We are back at Bose's house where she's feeling better and getting out of bed and goes downstairs. By the way, so this whole storyline now with PK, and I bet PK now wants to send memes to Kyle now more than ever. See, they can't stop us from sending memes to each other, Kyle. Here's a funny one. It's Meredith Marks, and she's got a blindfold on, and it looks like she's been through the ringer. Here's one of Scheana Shay, and it's a tattoo says, it's all happening, right? All right, you can use that with anyone. Here's one of Jax Taylor, where he looks like he's done tons of blow, and it says, I'm the number one guy in the group. Oh, silly memes. Anyways, Bose is at her house. Garcelle comes over, and Garcelle has to take her shoes off. In a talking head, Garcelle goes, I don't like to take off your shoes before you get into someone's house. My shoes are part of the outfit. I'm telling you, this shoe thing is probably Bose's downfall, this taking off the shoes in the house. So Garcelle is really nice and brought her Jamaican food, which is awesome. Please, Garcelle, come visit me. So they're saying they look pretty, and Bose is like, I had to have surgery because I've been suffering with fibroids. They got 10 of them out. They hand Garcelle champagne, Nico, her assistant. And Bose says, so I'm glad to sit with you, honestly, because I want to know all the things. And Garcelle goes, I know we haven't had a chance to do this. Doute is an embryo up your coochie. What? Garcelle, embryo up your coochie? Anyways, Bose goes, can I throw something? I find all of this so strange. I do. In a talking head, Bose says, this is so juvenile that I really can't even wrap my mind around it. I happen to like Doute. Just because they don't like Doute doesn't mean I can't like Doute. I mean, what is this? Some sort of clique? Yes, Bose. It is revealed to Bose at this moment. She's on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. A show about cliques and potentially having an odd person, a black sheep that we make fun of for an entire season or an entire run on this show. But what I do love about this is that it's like life, right? What's so great is that like life can kind of balance itself out. And even if you weren't like, I love that certain people can like certain people and certain people are like, yeah, I don't really jive with that person. I love that Bose likes Doute. Like, will that always be the case? Who knows? But I like that she likes her right now. It gives a different flavor. It gives us a different look, and it makes us look at these characters differently. Garcelle goes, you know what it is with Doute, Garcelle? I have to say the common denominator of her is that we'll take 2 steps forward, then we'll take 3 steps back. Garcelle says that. And Bose goes, yeah. And Garcelle says, so we never feel like we're ever moving forward. And I don't know why. And Bose is like, oh. And Garcelle goes, 1, she talks a lot. And Bose goes, okay. And Garcelle says, and in a way, I appreciate tons of details because it makes the story better, but not like all the time. And Bose goes, you know, to me, I was like, oh, how terrible that this woman is. So I love Bose, like thinking of like an empathetic person. You know, I was thinking about how terrible this woman is going through this horrible situation in her marriage. She's trying to keep a smile on her face. She's got problems with her bestie. I was like, oh, shoot, let me be a bridge. Love can build a bridge. And Garcelle says, well, I think for her and Kyle, they were thick as thieves for a long time, and then they became there's a big shift. So obviously you're seeing that, and it's painful for both of them. Like when we were at the Viper room, it looked like it was going to get physical, and I had never seen that. And Bo says, I did not know there was all that kind of vitriol there. Do you know what I mean? Like that was real anger. And Garcelle goes, that was real hard to watch last night. And Bose goes, what? Garcelle says, Kyle read the text. And Bose goes, I'm sorry? And Garcelle goes, she read the text. And the Time production zooms in on Kyle's text to PK on her phone. You know, the thing we just read, I know you have a lot of friends, but I'm also one here if you need me. I've never repeated anything you have shared with me and never would. Well, I still like, why would Kyle show this one? Because then it's like, well, now you got to tell us. Anyways, Garcelle goes, the text, I'm paraphrasing, says something like, I won't say something I never have. And Bose gasps. And Garcelle goes, that part. And Bose goes, oh, hell no. And Garcelle goes, that part. And Bose goes, I don't understand. That too. I can't compute. My brain is like all over the place. Carry the 5, divide the 3, minus 4, makes like what? Like she was actually very funny in doing this. And Bose in a talking head says, so Kyle doesn't know the definition of friendship, and she doesn't know the definition of ain't nothing going on. Because clearly there's something going on. This is proof of that. She is actively talking to BK in a way that is not superficial. That's not what she told me. And in Bose's bedroom, we flash back to Kyle going, don't even get me freaking started about sending stupid memes. And then we are a reminder at the Viper room where Kyle says, my friendship with BK is memes and jokes. That's it. And right there, Kyle touches her nose. Which Juliana put in the notes. She goes, when somebody touches their nose, it's a factual movement when somebody tells a lie. Look it up. I'm touching my nose. But no, that's true. So Kyle touched her nose in that scene. So she's a liar. Bose continues in a talking head. So she lied. Tense music plays. Bose to Garcelle. Well, how's she going to find out? And Garcelle goes, I don't know. Bose goes, you're going to tell her. Dun, dun, dun. But Garcelle is the good person to tell. And also Garcelle got that good, like, if you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. So now she can be that deliverer of important messages. We found a place for Garcelle this season. And wow, yay. That was so exciting and fun. Next time on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we have Kyle and Mauricio present Portia with a brand new car for her 16th birthday. It's probably a very nice car. This is a serious question. If you are one of the Kyle and Mauricio's kids, Portia, by the way, seems really excited to get this car, but don't you kind of expect the car? Like, don't you kind of like, I know it's coming. Like I've seen it with all, like if you're of a certain wealth, do you just expect it? Like, do they have any kind of hard and fast rules about money with the kids? That's just an honest question. That's not like judging. We see Bose holding a glass and addressing the ladies. Let us all heal together. They're getting massages, foot scrubs, pampering. They're in their robes. And then Bose says to Kyle, can you read the text, please? And Kyle's crying, and that's all I fucking said. Now I'm done. I'm not going to be made to feel like I've done something wrong. And Doute's like, Kyle. And Kyle's crying, I've loved you and your family. Fuck everybody. I'm done with this. I'm not doing this anymore. I hate memes. And she charges out the front door in her white robe. And if you remember, the season preview has all of the ladies standing in their robes watching Kyle as she gets into like an SUV in her robe. So she must like jet off and run. Holy moly, you guys. What an episode. Did you have fun? Also, I wanted to talk about last week about unpredictable, right? Because Doute said, PK is unpredictable because he stopped communicating. So I was kind of just going like, well, it seems like PK's both feet were already out the door, right? So the other thing to talk about that is that it has got to be very unsettling for Doute, having the kids, having the finances. We obviously know there is something wonky going on with their house. And it is very alarming probably to Doute, right? For having somebody that's able to just like cut and run, or that's how it appears. Now, I will say on PK's defense, he was posting with the kids a couple days ago. They're in the, I don't know, funny videos, but he's done this before. He's been in other relationships. So there is so much strain, not just financial, but obviously it's got to make her uneasy because he's always seemed to give a shit. And now if he pulls completely and just is like disappears, so obviously Doute is going through a lot of stuff. This is, and I feel like we'll probably find out more and more details as it goes on. Now, PK was on the Bravo Hot Mic podcast I told you last week with Alex Baskin, where he took offense to Doute calling him an alcoholic and things. But I would be what I really hope for with this show as it continues is that Doute continues to live in the actual truth of her scenario and share details. And I think we will see somebody. I mean, I think she's got a story. I think she's got stories to tell, and we've always seen her as like, oh, that's funny, Doute and Buca de Beppo and Beverly Beach and all that stuff, but she's got a story to tell. And I'm really interested to hear it. And I hope that, I think she's gotten so much positive feedback that I hope I don't think you ever bask in that when you're going through something like this. But the one thing that confuses me, folks, is when she was on Watch What Happens Live after the first episode of this season, she said to Andy, I believe, that her and PK are still together. They're separated, but they're still together. No big announcements. And the show itself and these kind of comments make it seem like it is very done. So I know they're trying to protect the kids and things of that nature, but I would love some clarity. We don't need clarity because it's not our place to, we demand clarity. But there is this confusing of like, we'll see these scenes or we'll see these conversations, but then you'll go on a thing of like, no, we're still together. We're just separated. So you're just kind of trying to parse through what their situation is, because it seems that he is, I don't know. I'm curious, and I'm curious if PK will play any role in the rest of the season in terms of actually being in scenes. That's it, folks. Another supersized episode. Stay tuned for our Salt Lake recap, which I can't wait to go watch tonight. That's going to be exciting, something to look forward to. And I hope you have a great, what is today? Thursday. I hope you have a great Thursday. We're almost at the end of the week, and thank you for being so supportive. Just positive thoughts for out here. Donate if you can, and I'll try to give more information as things become clearer with what the new normal out here in California is. But I appreciate you being here. Thank you for letting me be silly, and I'll talk to you on Friday. Bye.